Thank you very much. Thank you. Another one, we have Batman. He gifted the
The
membership.
untouchable empire, baby.
Thank you very much. Salute to you, Batman. SD in the
The
building
untouchable empire, baby.
with the membership. Thank you very much. And the Lost MC Evie Tits is
The
back.
untouchable empire, baby.
And she became a member too. Thank you very much, friends. We have Brandon in the building saying, I just became an Ela fan. Thank you very much, Brandon. We have 10 to go. Caping Caveman says, JB, they use violence or eminent domain. Thank you very much, Caveman. I hope you're doing good. We have Crash Out or Cash Out. JB finds success at an individual level, but fails to understand how how the ability to connect personal experience with larger social forces to actually make difference past an individual level is the issue. Thank you very much, sir, for the $10. We have the sponsor of the show, the New Culture Empire, saying you have cultural success one individual at a time. Thank you very much. We have Strikingly Rich in the building, saying dictionary definition of coon, picture of JB. Damn, that's crazy.
Oh man, hey.
Another one, we have Prince Yatif. He became a YouTube
The
member.
untouchable empire, baby.
We appreciate you. Salute to you. Salute to you. Salute to you. We have MC Evie Teets. $10 says hello to the panel and the chat. Great combo. Thank you very much. We have another one from Kevin. Kevin says Mansa was in the prison library.
Oh man, hey.
Again, the New Culture Empire with $2 says why is the Mika question? We have 5 to go. We have Strikingly Rich saying reading 39 books is the equivalent of having 39 men ejaculating you. I've never understood why they call Tommy a cotton picking coon until tonight.
Oh man, hey.
Thank you very much, Strikingly Rich. The New Culture Empire, Mansa, before or after the Black Popes? Answering. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We have Thomas Legacy in the building saying nothing. You became a member.
Untouchable empire, baby.
I appreciate you. We have Strikingly Rich back again. Says Clinton Bixby will be proud of these shit. Then final 2, Strikingly Rich saying there is no objective true except Matt. And finally, we have Courtney Edgar Show. Say shout out to the panel. Hey Edgar, I know you have very strong opinions. Why don't you pull up on a panel so I can lay you out real quick? Like everybody has a lot of strong opinions. Pull up to a smoke show or a panel to see if you have all that mouth when you're reacting to it. Thank you very much. And finally, we have thank you for the money, absolutely. And finally, Bro 25252. He says Mika is Anton best friend. Thank you very much, Burrow. I appreciate that lovely comment. Thank you. And once again, we're going to let the Prince of the Manosphere get the microphone. I just want to shout out to our Cash App and PayPal friends. Okay, we have Mr. Carl Anderson with a $35. Thank you so much, Carl. We have Black Hawk. He sent $15. Thank you so much, Black Hawk. We have Twisted Pup with a $30. Thank you so much. And Mr. Thomas Legacy, the New Culture Empire with the hundo. Thank you, Thomas. He's the sponsor of the show for now. And friends, let's get the Prince of the Manosphere over here.
Mr. Fantastic.
Go ahead, Mr. Fantastic, uninterrupted, please. And I'm sorry once again for the delay, Fantastic, but it was a little bit.
Nah, man, I feel, man. Appreciate y'all for bringing me up. I apologize for the panel etiquette earlier, but again, it's a lot of things I say. I know I don't write shit down, so I'm trying to keep all this stuff in track. So let me start backwards and work forwards. So the first point, Ali, to your question, where he talked about victimization, is where he was saying somehow, well, the white folks ain't gonna let black folks get no money. Anytime any groups of people gets an economic advantage, they tear it down. That's victimhood. and that's working back to forward. He used the Muslims as an example. I can't get into the specifics and whatever, remember exactly what he said verbatim, but there's literally a case right now where there's a whole bunch of Muslims in the United States of America that that has created almost $1 billion of fraud, okay, against the United States government, right? It's a whole bunch of damn Somalis in Minnesota.
Minnesota, yep. That's facts.
Okay. So when niggas say shit like this as to where, oh, well, you know, the white folks, and then what's even funnier is, well, why is it that it's always the black folks that are getting held back, but the Arabs are out earning the white folks, the Asians out earning the white folks? So why would they worry about keeping niggas down so much, but allow themselves to get surpassed by all these fucking Asians by more than almost double? This is victimhood. Now, going back to what he wanted to run from, because niggas want to act like they're the only ones that can read, apparently, or whatever, which is crazy to me, okay? The reason he ran from the Pope shit is because it's not just the Pope shit, is that the black rulership, you have to read to know that, because the white man history don't tell you about that. So you actually got to read to learn about fucking black people, not just the Moors, but actually the black rulership in Europe, right? So what niggas love to do is come up and then now we got to, let me get to the Tommy analogy. Knowledge has many analogies. Knowledge referred to is milk. Knowledge referred to is fucking hell. Actually, like you said, the phallic symbol is power and knowledge. Again, this is for niggas that want to act like they the only niggas that ever picked the book up and only fucking knowledgeable. I love when niggas think they the smartest nigga in the room, but they ain't. All right, don't ever try to pull this bullshit and act like you niggas because you got your, whatever your philosophy may be, or, the pro-black this and the pro-black that. And the crazy thing about it is John Henry Clark, then the white folks weren't even the fucking problem. Shout out to Mika. The book she pulled up, white folks weren't even in it. It was the Arabs and the Asians that African people put over themselves and fucking wanted to be like them that destroyed the fucking civilization before it even got to the white man. So this kills all that you niggas don't read, and the reading is important, and you niggas get offended by a fucking analogy, okay? That's very, very simple. Emotional ass men, oh man, I can't take that, man. At least you niggas could have said pause. You would have said pause, I could have understood it. You niggas didn't say no pause. Hey man, y'all talking about niggas getting nutted in. No, nigga, he's talking about knowledge being imparted upon the fucking person, and used a woman. He didn't even say a man, he said a woman. He said a woman, but you niggas so emotional, the well-read niggas, right? So fucking well-read, so motherfucking emotional like a goddamn woman that you couldn't even put the analogy together, okay? No matter who writes the book, it is their POV. You don't know anything that, like Tommy said, this is why, and Ali and Fatty, this is why I hate when y'all let niggas talk before, because now I seem like I'm Dick Ryan Tommy. I'm just agreeing with Tommy. No, nigga, it's the fucking facts.
You just even facts.
Even science is fucking opinionated. And we know this because Pluto was a planet, then Pluto stopped being a planet, then Pluto's a planet again. So again, you gotta know who the fuck you playing with when you niggas get up here and talk like y'all really built like that and y'all the smartest niggas around because you done thumbed through some fucking books. Okay? Y'all ain't the only niggas that done fucking read. The smartest nigga that thought he was so smart, Mess, you know about Friedrich Nietzsche? You ever heard of him?
I'm letting you talk. I'll respond after.
Well, you don't like answering no questions. Well, let me tell you something, brother. This is a guy called Friedrich Nietzsche, right?
Yeah, I know about him. I read his works.
So what did he do? What did he do?
Yeah, finish. I'm gonna respond.
No, you tell us. You say you know about it, so tell us. What did he do?
Because if I start talking, I'm gonna just go on and you're gonna complain about
it. I'm actually no.
Can I say? Y'all keep asking him to stop talking, then you ask him a question. If he starts,
my
talking,
first time asking him a question.
What was you gotta say, bro?
No, hey, friends, it's actually
he can answer one question. Ali, he can answer the one question. He ain't got to do no fucking.
I'm familiar. Go ahead, man. Say your
piece. Of course, yeah. Just like the nigga said he was familiar with the Pope shit, but he ran from it. So what Friedrich Nietzsche did is Friedrich Nietzsche killed God. And guess what happened to Friedrich Nietzsche? He drove himself motherfucking crazy and pretty much killed himself. All right. So this is what happens when you think you're so knowledgeable, you're so motherfucking smarter than everybody else, right? You literally become your own fucking doom. Shout out to Miko for saying this. Niggas love to read. But if you don't motherfucking put the shit into action, as we keep talking about, niggas are not doing it. Niggas can literally make fucking $1 million on a smartphone. We in the most fucking technologically advanced, the smartest fucking generation ever. You got all information at your hand, which, I mean, to be honest with you, reading ain't as much as it used to be because the books can read to you. You don't even got to read no more. So that's why I'm saying you niggas is funny when y'all talking about, oh man, you don't read. Bro, you ain't got to read. YouTube got every motherfucking book, almost every book on it. You can listen to it. Audio books. So the actual point of reading is even outdated for real, for real. I'm not saying knowledge is not important, but this is what I'm saying to where niggas use shit and don't understand just how advanced we are in technology as to where, you know what I'm saying, it's different ways of taking in information. All right. So either way it go, man, that's my shit. And I didn't take motherfucking 37 minutes or 17 rounds to do it. So yeah, there we go.
Lock the cage doors at this time.
Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up.
You're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Because I know where guys are going to go in monologues. 2 minutes each, and then we open back the panel. If anyone wants to intervene, says so, okay? Hey, look at the clock. I will stop you if you go after the 2 minutes. The clock is running. Mansa, you can reply to what he said.
Okay, so as far as the black popes, I didn't run from the question. Just to clarify, the reality is she asked me in the question as I was responding to something, and I said I won't answer that until I finish with the point I was making. As it pertains to all of this type of stuff, when it comes to the black popes, yes, there were black popes. History is very late, okay? So you had some black popes, Komnenos being one of them among the Byzantines. He was a black guy, a black brother. And then you also had the Bavarians in the Holy Roman Empire. So you also had a lot of nobles, blacks. You could get J.A. Rogers' book, very, very good book on Nature Knows No Color Lines. And he got 3 volumes of sex, race, and I forget the other name of it, and that goes in on all of the black nobility that was in Europe. All right, there's also sources that go in to talk about how Christopher Columbus was mixed. Also, King George. A lot of the nobles that we think are white people from Europe were actually black nobles. So yes, I'm very familiar with all that history. So that wasn't something I was running from. That's actually something that I deal with in my daily life in terms of educating my people on some of these things. Now, as it pertains again to the reading stuff, where people are referencing all of this, sexual stuff when it comes to reading, if that's your thing, man, that's your thing. That's just not my thing. The reality is, reading has cognitive benefits. Okay, so although there are very, very several different ways you can learn, and people should use those ways of learning, reading is still fundamental because of the cognition benefits. Even if you're using AI like ChatGPT, Perplexity, it involves reading. Research and study is essential. When I'm talking about reading, I'm talking about cross-referencing things and catching on to things by doing your studying and things like that. So that stuff is important. So in terms of everything that he said, as far as
10 seconds, sir.
I digress right there. I made the points that I wanted to make, but that was
Mr.
it.
Fantastic, you have another chance to reply. Go ahead, Fantastic. 2 minutes.
Yeah. So again, like I said, I don't think people understand how humans work, right? So humans don't start out reading; they start out listening. And most people will learn better through listening and fucking watching and doing than actually reading, because reading can be difficult for a lot of people. Language barriers. Shout out to Fatty, right? Fatty knows English, but Fatty was
great. That's crazy.
I give you a shout out.
That's crazy, Fantastic. That is wild. You got it.
Yeah, he muted me too. That's fucked up. So no, what I'm saying is, you say this real time all the time. You say, hey, well, it's colloquialisms, right? So when you learn a language, you learn the language. The colloquialisms and the different regions and shit and so on and so forth, is totally different. So what I'm saying, and I'm not disagreeing with it, reading still is fundamental. Research, all those things is important. What I'm saying is there's a better way to do it now. Okay. I mean, it's a better way. People, like I said, when you do most ChatGPT and all this research, all the different things, so on and so forth, it's not people actually taking the time to physically read. What they're doing is, and actually there's been studies to show that it's better for you to listen to some stuff. Like some people do, especially like people that's cramming and stuff like this, so on and so forth. They literally put audiobooks on in their sleep and listen to them in their sleep. And then it's theorized that you can actually intake stuff in that way. Okay. So again, that's all I'm saying, bro. Again,
so cognition, are you familiar with the research revolving reading and the benefits of it cognitively?
Yes, of course, obviously.
All right. So if it has cognition benefits, that means it should be something that should be employed. Correct.
Yeah, I've never said we should stop reading. That's not once what I said. What I said is still, though, making reading the focus and then not putting the intangibles and the nuance into it to where you can read all day and B, like what they say, you got a whole bunch of book sense, no common sense, right? Or you doing all this reading, you're doing all this reading and it's not being applied. A person that just reads a fucking billion books and they can spew out a whole bunch of information, but it's never going to use it for anything positive or anything for advantageous for themselves or the public. What's the purpose of it?
Right. So for the record, I've never suggested that people just read books and not apply what they're learning. I've said several different times over the course of the discussion that the things that our ancestors employed as far as building communities, economic development and self-development, personal development are all things that I advocate for, that I spoke about. So I don't understand this position that's being put out there that I said you should read all day, not apply everything that you're learning. I don't get where that's coming from. Personally, that's not nothing.
I'm not
fantastic. Can I say something real quick?
Well, let me. I got my time, so let me do it. I promise. So I'm keeping within the time. So no, I'm not challenging that. What I'm challenging is when you started talking about specifically white people tearing down black people or whatever group once they got a financial advantage. That's just false. When I can give you the counterbalance and say if that was the case, how and why would they pretty much lose their economic advantage to a whole group of foreign people, a very, very small percentage of that. Another thing too, now that I'm saying it, I'm reminded, I'm glad you said this, the political aspect of it. We know that Asians have a very, very small percentage, but they have a major political impact. Jewish people have a very, very small percentage, but they have a major political impact. Why? It's strictly because of economics. It's not volume. It's not even voting power or voting numbers. It's saying, hey, we buy and we build politicians. We're going to fucking fund you. We're going to put you in place, so on and so forth. So how and why do black people not do the same thing? Or whenever they do that, it's always a Democrat, and it's always a Democrat that doesn't give any positive benefits to the constituents that voted for them.
Yeah, so in the beginning, I said I wasn't liberal and I didn't support anything that the Democrats did. And one of the things I did say, I said that you have to develop economic power and put that economic power into political power. So the other thing you said is, why would they let these other groups come and outpace them? Well, this is what the MAGA movement and the immigration policies that are coming forward is about, to make sure those other groups that outcompeted them, that's making more money than them, are no longer able to do so. This is why H-1B visas is a big thing in the conservative movement, as far as foreigners coming here with higher skills than Americans, and people are saying, listen, you need to skill the Americans instead of bringing these foreigners. So that this current political climate is a direct address to the economic the other immigrant groups surpassing white Americans in the economic and political arena. This is why there's a big push for kicking people out as far as when it comes to immigration. Which is not something I'm for or against. I'm just simply stating the facts. So also, I wasn't talking about the Somalis in Minnesota. I was talking about, particularly in Texas, there's a Muslim community that's making a community that they bought land. They're doing everything lawfully. But the point is, the white Americans that live in the area are against it because they're saying that they're doing all of these extra things, and that's not necessarily the case. They put their money, they're using their economic power and their economic money to build themselves a community, and they're being met with resistance. Okay, so I was just using that. Hold on, you gotta
give me time to get in. I only got 50 seconds now.
No, it's fine. Mansa, you can finish the clock, and Fantastic Cook can reply uninterrupted, and Tommy and Blu-ray go up. Go ahead.
I was just using that as an example that has been done to other groups that are doing better economically or outpacing white Americans when it comes to economics, as they've done to us in the past. So what I said in the past, if anybody could look it up, I'm not saying it's victimization. You can look it up. Red Summer of 1919 in particular. This is a point in time in history where white Americans were upset that black Americans were doing better economically to them and had their own communities, and the National Guards, the sheriffs, the local police, and the residents went and burnt their towns down. I'm not saying we should stop doing that. I'm not saying that's something that we should keep us scared and away from. I'm just simply saying that's what happened. And this is why you have to put your economic power individually and collectively put that into political power. That's all I was saying.
Brother.
Fantastic and interrupted.
Yeah. So again, that is problematic. We're seeing that happen over in Europe right now. So when you let these people come into a community and literally take it over, because like I said, if you have a major concentration, that's why I use the Somalis as a point. The Somalis found one area in one city in Minnesota to where they run the fucking point till you have a fucking Somali congresswoman, okay, that makes laws for the people, and then she's funneling her money in order to elect more officials that are Somali in that thing. So that is taking the racism out of it and so on and so forth. That's strategy. Why would you let a group of people that don't go along with your morals and your values and actually go against it and all these different things? That's where you may be a victim of it if you let them take control. Why would you not push back against it? Especially when, again, you have the proof now of what's going on over in Europe. Now that you have so many Muslims that are taking over these things and so on and so forth, and they get into these positions of power and influence for your own community. So I don't say that's not a racial thing. That's just not allowing yourself and your morals and values to be replaced by something that's foreign.
Well, I would say, and I won't say anything else, but my counter to that is that what makes it a racial thing is that every other group did that. The Italians came here and did it. The Jews came here and did it. The Irish came here and did it. The reason we have Chinatowns and every other all over America is because other groups came and did that. You see what I'm saying? So what makes it a racial thing is, and again, I don't even want to push back on the whole Somali thing because I wasn't talking about that. My whole point is that any group that comes and outpaces white Americans when it comes to economic success and political power, they push back on that. When other white groups came to America, like the Germans is the largest ethnic group behind Black Americans that are here. Other European ethnic groups came here and did the same exact thing. The American system is set up for you to come in and build your economic power and base and use that money to do what you need to do politically. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let me step in real quick because I know Tommy gonna go because I'm gonna be quick. So I don't believe that we forgetting the context and what really the facts. They're not getting stopping certain visas because they're gonna come over and unite and build up economically, take over white people. We must forgot that under the Biden administration that they let millions and millions of people over here illegally. So what they're doing is they're getting the people out that came illegally. And then as far as the conversation with Tommy came back, and I'm not taking up for him. I'm just speaking the facts like my brother Fantastic said. He came back and clarified himself. He said, I grew up reading the Bible. And then he responded, then I started liking science. He said, there's truth in science, there's truth in the Bible, and by me liking both, because I've learned the truth about science and the truth about the Bible, it has me bamboozled, if I was to say that, or warring against the truth in both books. I land my plane.
And all I was saying to that was that is critical thinking, and that is called research and study. When you're searching for the truth. Now, if you're searching for things that confirm your bias, if you're searching for things that you like, then that's a different agenda. But in the pursuit of truth, you're looking and you're comparing and you're contrasting and you're using critical thinking when you're going over information. That's not just included in reading. It's other sources and other things you do when you're searching for the truth. So that's why I said that sounded like a personal thing to him as far as when he used that analogy, as far as how he liked this and how he liked that. That's just not something that I did when I was researching or others do all the time. Some may do that. That's not the case all the time. I'm saying that critical thinking that's a part of it. Research and study.
Tommy interrupted and then Neil Canali.
Whenever people start saying the words, it's just like what women do when they say not all. When you could come and say, not everyone sits there and pulls from multiple sources. If that wasn't the case, then why would I need multiple sources? Why would I read multiple sources, but then turn around when the man said, hey, this is what Tommy was explaining. Second thing, if you misquote me or misunderstand me, when I now tell you what I meant, you ain't supposed to elaborate. You supposed to say, okay. So even when this man just said, here's what he meant, and he gave an explanation. He said, and that part I don't agree with, and I'm going to say it. So you just started explaining about it, but never acknowledging you might have got what that person said wrong. You started an argument with that person for no reason. And I'm sure you guys have done that at work or at home with your girl. When your girl misunderstood something you said, y'all got into a big argument and you then had to go back and say, that is not what I meant. You don't want her to then still try to act like she right by now explaining more stuff about how she took it. Because she was wrong, because you wouldn't have been arguing that long. And then when I say to somebody, or when somebody says to me about how intelligent they are, if you were that intelligent, my description of what would happen to a person using a woman, not a man, a woman being inseminated by several different men, that has become an imprint on her. So she now feels a bit of all of them. That wouldn't make no intelligent man be bothered. Because let me tell you something. There's a scientific word about how the spermatization of the planet Earth happened. And imagine somebody being a homophobe sitting around, ew, sperm in the planet. That's nasty. And the person explaining to them, well, you're seeding the earth with this stuff. Yeah, but I could have used a different one. That ain't intelligence. Emotional intelligence will make you say, that's what that man said. I understand what that man is saying, and it has nothing to do with somebody screwing me. So I wouldn't keep talking about it for 40 damn minutes unless I really thought that I'm getting screwed. And I don't think I said a man, so I don't see how you'd be so offended. But you were, and that is a sign of non-intelligence, that you would be stuck on that thing instead of understanding.
So my response to that is I actually could care less about it. I didn't say you denigrated me. I said you denigrated reading. So if I was offended, I would have took it personally and internalized it, which I didn't. I didn't say that you denigrated me. I said you were denigrating reading by comparing reading multiple sources to something sexual. That's the point I made.
How is that denigrating?
Because reading,
if I said this food
okay, you responded.
If I said what I said, pussy, am I denigrating the food?
All I said was you were denigrating reading. You can take it
how
you want to.
If I said this food is good as pussy, am I denigrating the food?
Listen, I'm not answering that question. I wanted to respond to other things. If you keep asking me more questions, you're taking away from me my ability to respond to what you said. All I'm saying is
you said something that's not true. You just said yourself.
No. I repeated what I said.
You said that because I called it equated it to sex, I was denigrating it. That's what you said.
Listen, I was replying and clarifying on what I said about being personally offended. I was not personally offended. If I was, I would have said, you said this about me. I said you were denigrating reading. That's what I said. Now, if you feel you didn't or you did, that's another discussion. My point also is you bring up that situation, but when I compared cooning to conservatism and buffoonery to liberal leftism, you had a problem with that. You were offended by that because we went on 40. Hold on. I said you asked me what word would you use for the right?
Truthful and stop lying.
Let him last so you can respond to him though. Just
you asked me what word would I use to describe the liberals, since I didn't use coon to describe the liberals like I did the conservatives, and I said buffoons. The word that I would use for the left was buffoons. But we went on for 45 minutes about defining coon because you had a problem with it. And then I clarified with the origin of where coon comes from, the etymology, and the connotation. That's how that transpired. So at no point, probably the only time that I got a little bit ruffled was when the brother Mr. Fantastic came in and we had some words about who was going to speak. Other than that, I'm not personally attached to what you think. I could care less. The whole point is I was clarifying. Okay, so the reason I said, because you want me to answer this, the reason I said you were denigrating reading is because you compared reading multiple sources to a woman getting nutted in basically by multiple men.